I've always believed that some things are best left alone. But back then, I was just like any other thief, chasing after the next big score. Little did I know that my greed would lead me into grip of something far darker than I could have imagined. You probably heard of cursed object before. Objects that bring bad luck, or worse, haunt you for the rest of your life. But what if I told you one of these cursed objects came with a price? A price that not only took my life, but my soul. It all started in the late 1990s in the quiet, sleepy hills of France. I had done my homework. The target was a family estate, isolated, surrounded by thick forests, a perfect place for a heist. The family, they were rich, old money. They had this one painting, an antique, and I mean antique, hundreds of years old. But the real kicker, no one ever talked about it in public. It was a secret, a family heirloom. Rumors surrounded it. Rumors that the family had suffered horrific tragedies throughout the generations. Loss, misfortune, even death. I didn't believe in curses. I didn't care about legends or folklore. I had a plan. I knew I could get in and out without a hitch. The old man who owned the estate was frail. I had studied the house for weeks, knew exactly when he'd be away, and that night I went in. I found the painting in his study. It was beautiful, but unsettling. The eyes in the painting, they seemed to follow me. I laughed it off, told myself it was just my nerves. I grabbed it, wrapped it, and walked right out the front door. But the moment I touched that damn painting, something shifted in the air. The temperature dropped. It felt wrong, like I had crossed a line that I couldn't come back from. That night, I should have felt invincible, but I didn't. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Every turn I took, every shadow, felt like it was moving, but I ignored it. I thought I was just being paranoid. Then it happened, the whispers. I first heard them when I was unloading the painting at my apartment. At first, it was just faint, like someone talking in the distance. I thought I was just tired, but then they got louder. Put it back. It's not yours. I tried to ignore it, but that voice, it kept calling me. My name. Put it back. I thought I was losing it, but no matter what I did, I couldn't escape it. And then things started to go wrong. My belongings started to disappear, my clothes, my tools. But it wasn't just that. I started hearing footsteps behind me. Late at night, not just one set, multiple sets of footsteps, as if something was following me, pacing behind me, waiting. I was scared, but the worst part, it wasn't the footsteps, it was the laughter. At night, I'd hear it, a low chuckle, almost like someone was in the room with me. I'd get up and turn on the lights, but there'd be no one, just the shadows moving on their own. I tried to get rid of it, the painting. I thought maybe if I sold it, maybe I could be free of whatever this was. I drove out into the forest to an old, abandoned house. I left the painting there, and as I walked away, I thought maybe that was it. Maybe I could move on. But something stopped me. A voice. My name, again. It wasn't just a voice anymore. It was something else. Something physical. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. But when I spun around, no one was there. I could see shadows moving in the trees. The laughter grew louder, more mocking. I don't know what happened after that. All I remember is waking up in the middle of a field. My body was stiff, my heart was racing, and I couldn't breathe. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My face was frozen, locked in terror. They found me days later. My body was cold, lifeless. No signs of struggle, no reason for my death. But the police couldn't explain the terror on my face. They said it was like I had seen something that broke me. They found the painting in the forest, abandoned, like it had been waiting for me to return. But I never did. I wish I had known then. I wish I had never touched that cursed painting. But it's too late. I can feel it, even now. Every night, the whispers come back, and I know they're calling me. They want me to return. But if I do, I don't think I'll come back alive. Some things are meant to stay buried. Some things should never be taken. And if you ever find yourself standing in front of an object that's too perfect, too valuable, remember this: there's always a price. And sometimes that price is your soul. Before we move on to the next story, if you like true scary stories, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for more creepy tales every week. I shouldn't be here right now. I know that, and I shouldn't be telling you this, but if I don't, I swear to God, I'll never sleep again. The nightmare I'm about to share with you isn't just my story. It's a warning to anyone who dares to take what doesn't belong to them. I was part of a heist, a simple job, or so I thought, a warehouse in Mexico filled with priceless artifacts. Treasures have been hidden for generations. We took it all, but we should have left everything right where it was. What we didn't know was that the warehouse had a dark, twisted history, and we, the thieves, would pay the price. It was 2003. I had done my fair share of jobs, but nothing like this one. We had a solid plan: get in, get out, make millions. The warehouse was an old building on the outskirts of a small town, hidden away from the world. No one knew about it, or so we thought. It was easy, too easy. We had our crew: Diego, the leader, Luis, the tech guy, and me, just another guy looking to make a buck. We cracked the security, disabled the cameras, and we were in. The place was covered in dust, like it hadn't been touched in years. But then, I saw it. A huge crate, hidden away from the rest of the artifacts. We thought it was just another piece of junk, but something about it felt off. Luis went to open it, but Diego stopped him. He said it looked too valuable to touch without checking. That's when things started to change. Luis opened it, anyway, and inside was a collection of ancient ceremonial masks. They were made of gold, silver, and some kind of stone. Beautiful yet eerie. As Luis lifted one of the masks, I swear I saw it just for a second. A flash of a face, a twisted, monstrous face behind the mask. I blinked and it was gone. But it wasn't just me. The others saw it too, or so I thought. We didn't know it then, but the moment we touched those masks, we unleashed something that was never meant to be disturbed. The ride back was when it started. Luis, he started hearing whispers. He swore that he could hear someone calling his name. At first, we laughed it off. Just nerves, we told him. But then it happened to Diego. The whispers. And then to me, I could hear them too. And they weren't just whispers, they were voices, speaking in a language I couldn't understand. It wasn't just in our heads. Something was watching us, something alive. When we got to the safe house, things got worse. We unloaded the goods, but the masks, they seemed to be calling to us. Every time I turned around, I could swear I saw something moving, shadows that shouldn't have been there. Figures standing just at the edge of my vision. Luis kept hearing the voices, and Diego, he became obsessed with those masks. And then it happened. Diego went crazy. He locked himself in the room with the masks, muttering to himself in that language. Luis tried to break the door down, but when he finally got in, Diego was gone. Just like that. No trace. His clothes were there, his things, but no sign of Diego. We searched for hours. We went to the police. We contacted anyone we could. But Diego was never found. We didn't sleep that night. And we couldn't shake the feeling that the masks were watching us. That was the night it all fell apart. Luis, he couldn't take it. He started hearing the voices more clearly. They were no longer whispers. They were commands. He started following them, like he was possessed. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't. He was already gone. The last time I saw Luis was when he was found in his car. His eyes were wide open, like he'd seen something that broke him. There was no sign of struggle, no signs of injury, just fear, pure terror. And he was dead, his body stiff, cold, eyes frozen in horror. I was the last one left, alone, but even I wasn't safe. The whispers, they never stopped. I kept hearing them, even in my dreams. Every shadow, every sound. It was like something was following me, waiting for me to make a mistake. I abandoned the stolen goods. I thought maybe, just maybe I could escape. But the voices, they still come. They haunt me. I can feel them now, watching me. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I swear I can hear Diego's laugh. It's faint, but it's there. I should have never touched those masks. I should have left them where they were. But I didn't. And now I'm paying the price. And so are the others. The warehouse, the masks, they've been waiting for someone to take them again. I'm just the first. Who's next? If you ever find yourself in Mexico, near an old warehouse on the outskirts of town, stay away, because some treasures should never be taken, and some spirits should never be disturbed. The whispers are getting louder. They're calling for me, and soon they'll call for you.